So let's get you out of this bloating and abdominal distension issue once and for all. Well, if we just understand what's happening and why this bloating is, being caused, logic works wonderfully when you're trying to attend to your health. This should be the case in anything that you see is repeatedly happening to you. Then let's address this bloating issue. So whenever we eat, do we know there is something called microbial fermentation that happens in our body, in our gut, which is that the microbes or the 100 trillion bacteria that are sitting all inside our large intestine, our colon mostly, are breaking this food down and creating enzymes, like cellulase to really break down carbohydrates, sugars, undigested fibers, which our own body really cannot do. So as a result of this breakdown, there are a lot of byproducts like, fats that are created in the body. They're called short chain fatty acids. There is lactic acid that's created. There are gases that are created, right, from odorless ones and stinky ones as well. Now, all this fermentation, which should be taking place in our large intestine, the colon, sometimes it's possible that now this has shifted, the venue really has shifted to the small intestine, which is now where the trouble occurs. Normally, this is a condition called SIBO, which is in the small intestine, SI, small intestine, bacterial overgrowth, SIBO. This is basically fermentation happening in the wrong place, which is why we get a lot of bloating and a lot of distension. So to address this, there are a couple of things that I can tell you, and we could discuss more, of course, in detail. One is, of course, we need to change the diet, because we are what we eat is what we hear, but that is not true. We are what our microbes or our bacteria eat, and we need to feed them things that they can break down easily. So high carb diets have to be swapped, or we need to adjust it, and we can use the elimination method for a lot of carbs which have gluten in it, and we'll get to the topic of gluten in another video. But for now, what I could suggest is to swap or adjust your carbs and use gluten-free carbs. So elimination method works with carbs. Some of the carbs need to go, the ones specifically with gluten. Two is that we could look at adding a probiotic for you. Of course, probiotic foods are very important, and a supplement could also really work well, because it will help in the breakdown of the. Other than the probiotic supplements, we could add, consciously add fennel, anise, ginger, because that will release gas and it will relax our colon as well. And the third point for this video is really that we could acidify our stomach. And I know acidifying sounds a bit scary, but what happens is, in the case of bloating, it means that there are less enzyme, less acids in the stomach, which are helping to break down the food. So it's going undigested, and it's storing up like this and creating other bacterial growths and infections. So we need to acidify it, and there are two ways we could do it. One is to even add apple cider vinegar 30-40 minutes before our meals, or there's a compound called betaine hydrochloric acid which we add in our gut cleanse programs. A certain amount of dosage helps in this acidifying, and what will happen is that your intestines will not have to work so hard to break down the food. All this will ease it, and it will definitely work wonders for your bloating or abdominal distension. Now, to know more about this subject and related subjects, you could definitely fill our gut quiz, because it will help you understand what your gut is telling you, and it will help me understand what are the other troubles it could be causing and creating, and we could personalize this further. So the link is in the caption. Fill it and let us know what your gut is telling you.